If you've lost weight and you're left with loose, flabby skin, believe me, I know it could be frustrating, discouraging, and even defeating. I've been there. After personally losing 80 pounds of fat back in 2008, I had a lot of excess skin and stretch marks on my body, and I have great news. I followed a simple, natural protocol to help tighten up my loose skin, and I've used this protocol on thousands of students all across the world. Whether you have excess skin from weight loss or just general excess skin, this simple 6-step protocol is gonna help you naturally firm your skin, make it look nice and tight in just a matter of 30 days. How do I know that, and how is that such a bold claim? Well, your skin cells regenerate every 30 days. So make sure you follow all 6 of these steps. They're all linked together, and after 30 days, you should see a difference. The first step here in your 6-step protocol is to activate a process in your body that cleans out damaged skin cells, and this is called autophagy. I'll be sharing with you 3 different schedules to follow to enhance autophagy, but I really want you to understand how this works to tighten up your loose skin. Autophagy is a process that gets turned on that it's kind of like Pac-Man looking for these damaged skin cells, cleaning them up, creating new, healthier cells that are more firm and tight. Think of your refrigerator. This is the perfect analogy. If you open up your refrigerator, you see all these groceries. Every grocery has an expiration date. What would happen if you let all the groceries expire beyond the expiration date, and instead of throwing them into the trash, you kind of just shove them towards the back of the fridge, buy new fresh groceries, close that door, come back the next day, open up that refrigerator door? That's going to be a nasty, toxic environment. I think you would agree. Well, guess what? Your body has skin cells that have expiration dates on them. Autophagy is the process of getting rid of those expired skin cells and regenerating healthier skin cells. Fasting, intermittent fasting, is one of the most powerful ways to enhance autophagy, and there are 3 schedules I'm going to give you that I followed to tighten up my skin, and I give to all my students with loose skin. The first schedule is called the daily 18-6 intermittent fast. It's really simple. Out of a 24-hour period, for 18 hours, you're in this fasted state. You're getting the autophagy, you're lowering inflammation. These are all very important to tighten up your skin. So you're only having water, tea, coffee, electrolytes during an 18-hour window. Then you have a 6-hour eating window where you want to eat collagen-rich foods, high-quality proteins like bone broth, grass-fed beef, organ meats, butter, wild-caught fatty fish. During that 6-hour window, you might have 2 or 3 meals in that window, and then you're fasting 18 hours outside of the window. That's the first schedule. You can do that on a daily basis. The second schedule is a 24-hour fast once a week. The reason we want to include this into your protocol is because when you spend 24 hours in a fast versus 18 hours, you get more of that autophagy repairing the skin cell process occurring. So essentially 1 day per week, you're going to go either dinner to dinner or lunch to lunch or even breakfast to breakfast. No food for 24 hours, just water, coffee, electrolytes, tea, but no food. The third protocol here is something you're going to do once a month, and that's a 48-hour water fast, where you go actually 2 days without food to get even more of this self-cleaning process called autophagy. So for example, if you're done eating at Sunday at 6 p.m., you would fast until Tuesday at 6 p.m., which completes this 48-hour water fast. There are other benefits that will happen besides the autophagy during this 48-hour water fast. You'll reset your gut, lower insulin, lower inflammation. You'll also create a process in the brain called brain-derived neurotrophic factor, where it just helps you be more energized and creative. But the main goal is to get more of that autophagy. So the 48-hour water fast is once per month. The 24-hour water fast is once a week. And the 18-6 is something you do on all other days. To give you a powerful example of how fasting and autophagy works for tightening up your skin, the Guinness World Record for the longest recorded water fast was done by a gentleman named Angus Barbery, and he went 382 days without food. He was medically supervised, and he lost a ton of weight. He was 450 pounds on day 1, and on day 382, he was 180 pounds. And he didn't have a ton of loose skin. He did have some loose skin. Naturally, losing that much weight will end up with loose skin, but a lot of the loose skin was eaten up by the autophagy during that process. And I'll show you before and afters of this guy, Angus. The good news is that you don't have to fast for over a year, nor should you, that 3-schedule approach to fasting will trigger the autophagy to get you similar benefits. Okay, step number 2 in your 6-step protocol is to build lean muscle mass. No, you don't have to be a bodybuilder or a CrossFitter, but building lean muscle mass is one of the best ways to give you the appearance of firm skin, and it also activates autophagy when you do the right strength training exercises. So when you build lean muscle mass, it sensitizes your hormones like insulin, it makes your skin look more firm, and it activates the autophagy process, but it needs to be the right strength training workouts. These are called compound movements. The top 5 compound movements to get the biggest bang for your buck in terms of growth hormone production, tightening up your skin, and autophagy are the following 5 movements. The first movement are push-ups or bench press. The second movement are squats, either your own body weight squats or using weights. The third movement are shoulder presses, which actually is great for testosterone and muscle building. The fourth are high intensity sprints. 20-second all-out sprint, 2-minute rest, 3 total rounds. Great for autophagy, great for muscle building. And if you cannot sprint, you could do that by cycling or swimming. That also works. And the 5th movement are burpees, where you simply just drop down to the ground, chest and thighs touch the ground. You hop on up, jump up and clap. You do a set of burpees on and off. Great way to build lean muscle mass. These movements all stimulate human growth hormone, autophagy, and it also helps build lean muscle to give you that appearance of tighter skin. The third step in your protocol is to ditch the following inflammatory foods that lead to damaged skin cells and loose skin. So the following foods are the foods you want to remove from your diet to really get that repair process going much faster. These are called inflammatory fats. They're also called seed oils, vegetable oils. These oils damage your skin cells. They stay in your body for years. They're highly inflammatory. They make it very difficult to fast. They make it very difficult to tighten up your skin. So you want to remove them from your diet today. I'm going to give you a whole list of them right now. So I hope you write these down. I'll also include it in the notes as well. We have canola oil, called rapeseed oil in the UK, corn oil, cottonseed oil, soybean oil, safflower oil, sunflower oil, rice bran oil, and grapeseed oil. There's another classification of fats you want to avoid: fish oil. Fish oil is not doing you any good. It is doing a lot more harm than good. If you want to get fish oil, eat the fatty fish. Do not take it in the supplement form. It's actually inflammatory. It ends up in your skin cells. And yes, it oxidizes and turns inflammatory inside of your body, just like those seed oils. We want to swap out those bad fats that I just mentioned with the right type of fats that lower inflammation and support your skin health integrity. These are going to be saturated fats and monounsaturated fats. I'll give you a whole list. Eat these fats on a daily basis during your eating window. We have coconut oil, butter, ghee, olive oil, avocado oil, duck fat, and beef tallow. These are much healthier for you. And I got a pro tip for you. When you go to restaurants, 99% of the time they're going to cook their foods in those inflammatory oils I mentioned, which is not going to do you any favors. So I show the server my seed oil allergy card where it shows you're allergic to these bad fats. Swap them with the healthy fats, and it goes a long way so you don't take that hit, because those bad fats I mentioned, the half-life is 680 days, 2 years in your body. I encourage you to download this seed oil card for free, print it out or save it as an image and show it to your server every time you're at a restaurant so you don't take that hit and they swap it out with healthy fats. You can get this over at seedoilcard.com. One more point here before I move on to step 4. These oils are so inflammatory, these seed oils, that Martin Grudfeld, and I put this study in my new book, Metabolic Freedom. Dr. Martin Grudfeld did a study looking at French fries cooked in vegetable oil, and he showed that it produced the same amount of aldehydes, which are it's inflammatory, cancer-causing, as tobacco cigarettes. Essentially, the study said one French fry cooked in vegetable oil is equivalent to a tobacco cigarette smoked when it comes to the aldehydes produced. Yikes, that's super inflammatory, so don't take the hit. Let's move on to step number 4. The 4th step is to control glucose, insulin, and cortisol. When you have elevated levels of blood sugar, it's going to damage your skin cells because sugar is sticky and it creates a process called advanced glycation end products, AGEs. This is appropriate because it ages you faster. It ages your skin cells. Sugar is sticky. Think about when you were a kid and you had cotton candy and you ate it with your fingers. What happens when you pressed your fingers together? It would stick together. Well, guess what? When you have high levels of sugar in your bloodstream, that sugar is sticking to your protein, your collagen, your skin cells. It depletes collagen from your skin, making you look older and making it difficult to tighten up that skin. So we want to avoid these blood sugar spikes, these insulin spikes, by keeping your total carbohydrates under 100 grams per day. Even better if you could drop that under 50 grams per day to have healthy blood sugar and healthy insulin levels. So when you regenerate those skin cells, you're regenerating healthier, fresh, amazing skin cells that tighten up the loose skin. Cortisol is also a big piece here. Cortisol, of course, is called the stress hormone, and when you have chronically high levels of cortisol, it will break down muscle, it will age your skin cells, it'll be very difficult to achieve that firm, tightened skin look that we're looking to achieve. So the best way to lower cortisol is to increase a hormone in your body called oxytocin. Oxytocin is called the love hormone. As soon as you produce oxytocin, cortisol drops. The best way to produce oxytocin is with a supplement called vitamin G. Vitamin G, studies show, UC Davis has shown vitamin G supplementation lowers blood pressure, lowers blood sugar levels. JAMA published a study in 2024 showing in 49,000 nurses, the nurses who took vitamin G had a 9% reduction in dying from all-cause mortality and a 15% reduction of dying from cardiovascular deaths. Vitamin G is anti-inflammatory. It's beneficial as soon as you take it. There's no upper limit. They're not a sponsor of this podcast. I don't have an affiliate link for vitamin G. You might already be on Amazon looking for vitamin G. Vitamin G is the feeling of gratitude. All those studies are on gratitude. As soon as you are grateful, you produce oxytocin, you lower cortisol. It actually helps with your skin health. It helps with weight loss. It helps with inflammation. There's no upper limit on vitamin G. Take as much as you want, but get it every single day. And you might want to practice it right now. If you're watching on YouTube, let me know what you're grateful for, because what you appreciates, and what you think about, you bring about in your life. Let's move on to step number 5 here. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but you want to minimize or eliminate altogether alcohol. Alcohol is a toxin to your body, to your brain. Even the cleanest source of alcohol needs to be metabolized by your liver, which then your metabolism prioritizes the toxin, and all the other amazing functions in your body start to slow down. Alcohol damages your skin cells, your cells in general, and there are worse offenders out there when it comes to alcohol and better options. The worst alcohol to consume, especially if you're looking to tighten up your skin, is beer and wine. Beer is very estrogenic, lowers testosterone, it creates unhealthy cells, and wine is loaded with pesticides and herbicides. If you must drink wine, there is a clean source of wine called Dry Farm Wines, and you can learn more about them over at ketocampwine.com. I'll drop the link down below. But if you do choose to drink, moderation is key, and have clear alcohols without any mixers. Clear alcohols will be vodka, tequila, and whiskey on the rocks with ice. There's some things you can do to help metabolize that alcohol faster. You might want to consider taking a binder 30 to 60 minutes before your alcohol, and maybe even taking glutathione. I'll put some links for both of those down below. But the best solution here is to avoid alcohol altogether, at least for the next 30 days. The 6th step here, before I get to the commonly asked questions, is to use photobiomodulation therapy, which is red light therapy. These red light lamps are incredible. They stimulate collagen production and they improve skin elasticity. So you simply want to get a high quality red light lamp or panel. I have several of them, and I'll drop links for the ones I have in the notes down below. And use it for 10 minutes twice a day, about 10 inches away. And if you're using a lamp that's more targeted, and let's say you have the extra, the bat wings around here, your arms here, you could apply the red light on your arms, but a full panel would be best because you get the whole body here. But 10 minutes, 10 inches away, twice a day of red light therapy. That's absolutely incredible. It also improves blood flow, oxygenation, and even mood. I use my red light therapy every single day. Again, I'll drop links for the ones that I have in the notes down below. Let's get to the commonly asked questions on this topic here. The first question is this: Ben, you mentioned lowering your carbs under 100 grams, under 50 grams. What are some example meal plans? What are some examples of doing this to lower glucose and insulin to achieve these amazing results of tightening up your skin? Well, I have a free ebook called my Burn Fat Book over at 𝙁𝙀𝙏𝘏𝑒𝑚, or scanning the QR code on the screen. It shows you exactly what to eat. These are anti-inflammatory foods that are low carb based, that help you regenerate those skin cells much faster. So go download the book for free over at 𝙁𝙀𝙏𝑒𝑚. We'll drop that link down below. Second question is this: how long will it take to see noticeable skin tightening if I follow all the steps? Well, the great news, as I mentioned earlier, is that your skin cells regenerate every 30 days. So you will see a noticeable difference in 30 days. Now, depending on how extreme the excess skin is, you might have to keep doing this for months to see a huge difference. And in some rare cases, or not even rare, but in some cases, surgery is required depending on how much weight loss you've achieved and how fast that weight loss occurred. Sometimes surgery is necessary, but I'm always a fan of going the natural approach, and that's what I wanted to give you in today's lesson. The next question is this: how do I know if autophagy is actually happening in the body? Well, besides going into a lab and measuring a protein called 𝙁𝐍𝑃, you could gauge this by measuring your blood glucose and blood ketones. Essentially, what you want to do is get a machine like a Keto Mojo over at ketocampmachine.com and prick your finger, and during your fast, what you want to see is glucose drop and ketones rise. To me, that's signaling this autophagy process. You don't have to go that route and test. Just know usually around that 16-hour mark of a fast, you're starting to enhance autophagy. So when you throw in the 24-hour fast and the 48-hour fast, you're for sure going to get autophagy. And when you do the strength training exercises, you're also getting autophagy. When you're sore from a workout like I am today, that is actually autophagy occurring at that area. That's the 6-step protocol. Follow it, come back here, let me know how it goes for you. I get it, it could be so frustrating. You did all the work and lost all this weight, and now you have the extra skin, but the good news is that this protocol works like a charm. Share this lesson with somebody you know, and if you're listening on the podcast, leave it a rating and a review. And hey, if you love this lesson, I just published a video on why butter is one of the best anti-inflammatory foods, and in addition to butter, I list 5 other anti-inflammatory fat-burning foods that lower glucose, lower insulin, lower inflammation, which actually pairs really nicely with the protocol I gave you in today's lesson. So check out the clip from that video and then click the video on the screen to watch that next. You have been lied to about butter. For years, they told you it's gonna clog your arteries, raise cholesterol, and make you fat. But what if I told you butter is one of the most anti-inflammatory fat-burning foods you could ever eat? I'm talking about 20 pounds of fat in a month. This is something